Hey, what is up everyone? My name is Captain Giorgio, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about the camera app on iOS 14. Alright, so in order to access that camera app, all you have to do is from your lock screen, simply just go to the bottom right corner. You're going to see a little camera icon. Just tap that and you're going to open up the camera app. Another way you can access your camera app is if you unlock your screen and then simply just swipe top right down and you're going to see the camera app over there as well. So what I wanted to show you today is how is it that the camera app works on your iPhone and how to change some of the settings so that you can get the photograph that you want. Okay, moving forward, I can perhaps make some videos going more in depth on how to use your camera app. But for now, let's go over the general settings. And now that we're here, I want to talk to you first about the top row, and then we're going to head downstairs to see what all these settings are about. So what this button does up here is for the flash. You can see you are able to enable and disable your flash setting. So whenever there's a cross, it means that the flash is cancelled. But when there is no cross and you see a lightning bolt, that means that the flash is enabled. So on the right here is the nighttime setting, and as you can see, sometimes it goes off on its own, sometimes it's disabled, and that's just the iPhone analyzing the scene to see whether or not it requires more light. Let me show you what I mean. If you tap on it, you're gonna get sent to a scroll here. That's going to show you whether or not you want it to be in auto or if you want to turn it off. When you take a photograph on night mode, you're going to have to be holding the phone still while it analyzes the scene, so then that way it can enable more light onto your photograph. So let me show you what I mean. You're going to see that it freezes the frame for a moment. So that was quick. It just took the photograph, it analyzed the scene, and when you preview the photograph, you're going to see that there's more detail and there's more light on the scene for your picture. If it's disabled, so let me disable it now, and I take a photograph, you're gonna see, compare from one another, which one is brighter and which one is darker. So most of the things you're gonna see up here, you're gonna be able to see it further down here by pressing this button up here in the top middle. You're gonna see more settings, which again, you're gonna see the flash settings, the nighttime settings, and such. When you enable the flash and you click on flash settings down here at the bottom, you're gonna be able to enable it completely. So right now it's gonna take a photograph. On, you can disable it completely. On the top right here is going to be your live mode setting, and pretty much what this does is it takes a photograph. As you can see, it's enabled live, and pretty much when you take a photograph, it's gonna take a picture, but you're gonna be able to kind of like in a way make a video out of it. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm taking the picture now. It records it a little for like 3 seconds or so. So then when you preview it and you tap and hold it, it kind of made a short video out of it. From what I've read online is that it takes up a lot of space. The top middle button over here is what's going to enable some more settings for your camera app. And instead of tapping the top middle, you can also just swipe up and again swipe down to hide it. Okay, so once again, starting from the left, you're gonna see that we have the flash setting again. Next, you're gonna have your nighttime setting again, where you're gonna have a slider. Again, you want to turn it off, you want to enable it auto, or if you want to manually adjust your nighttime settings. Here's your button for your live mode. For your photographs, once again, you can do that from the top right. And then here's where you're going to edit your aspect ratios. So right now it's set to 4:3, but you can obviously change this now to square setting. So it's like a 1:1 now, perfect for Instagram, or 16:9, which is pretty good if you're trying to record some video out of it. Yeah, and that's pretty much the only options you have for now. Next, if you want to manually adjust your exposure, you hit this button here, the plus with the minus, and you're able to adjust your exposure of your camera, meaning you're going to be letting more light in, but keep in mind in doing so, you're going to be blowing up certain areas of your picture. So you want to make sure that you're in a place where you want to capture everything that you need. Okay, moving forward, you have your timer. So when timer is on, you get to set and you press the button to take the picture. It's going to delay the photograph by 3 seconds, or you can delay it by 10 seconds. So if I tap it, see, it's going to flash. You can see the flash go off. Once you take that photograph, you're going to see that there's going to be a burst of 10 photos. So when you preview it on your gallery, you can select it. And then here, you can select which picture you like the most out of that burst. And again, it took 10 shots. So let's say I like this one. There's really no difference. You can select done. Would you like to keep the other 9 photographs? It's going to ask you. And then you can just say, you know, you want to keep the whole series of 10 photographs, or you can delete the rest, or you want to keep everything. And last but not least, you got your color settings. So here's where you're going to be able to change the color specifications of your photograph. So you get some presets here that are pretty cool when you're trying to take some nice creative pictures. By changing the color, you have more settings up here. Once again, if you want to make this a live photograph, you can do so. If you want to change the timer of the burst, you can do so. If you want to change the night mode, add some flash to this photograph with that color preset, I think it's pretty cool. And one thing I forgot too about the photo profile is that you can change the lens that you're using. So right now I'm using the iPhone 12, and if I press the 1x button here, you can see it's going to convert into the wide angle lens. I believe this is a iPhone 12 and iPhone 11 thing where they're equipped with a wide lens. So that's pretty cool that you can just tap. You can also drag. So most of these settings I just told you about can be found in the photo profile. But we can also head into video. And now here is where we're going to be recording our video with our iPhone. So you're going to have some more limited settings compared to a photograph. So let me show you what are some of the things that you can and can't do. Here on the top left, once again, you have your flash. So when you press record, you're going to have the flash go off. You can disable that. On the top right, you're going to see it's going to be 4K 60 frames. That's all that it means. It just means like the quality of your video. How is it going to be like? You can tap it. Actually, you can tap the little numbers to change the settings, which I thought was pretty cool. So from 4K, you can tap it, and now it's going to be recording a high definition. Or you can tap it again, and it'll go back to 4K. The numbers too, you can go from 60 frames a second to 24 frames a second to 30 frames a second. Now we're going to go into the slow motion profile, and here's where you're going to have your higher numbers. So as you can see right now, you can make a video that's HD and can record 240 frames a second, which I think it's super high def. And you can also change it to 120 frames. Unfortunately, you can't seem to record this at 4K. Well, that's enabling the flash up here in the top left. Cool. All right, and you also have your wide lens and your focal length settings. Moving forward, now you have your time-lapse setting. And there's not a lot of settings you can do about this except for the little arrow up here. And all you can pretty much do is just change the exposure. But anyways, yep, pretty much the time-lapse, what it does is it takes a certain photograph every time it reaches one of those little dots over there. At least that's what I believe. And I can just move it around this way, maybe move it around that way too. And when I press pause, you can see how quickly that was. So the portrait profile has made it easier for you to take amazing shots and take really cool portrait shots. But right now, this is my model, the Capt. So let me show you what are some of the things that you can do in the portrait profile. Perfect. So now that we're more backed out, as you can see, you can play around with the neural light. You can play around with the studio, contour light. These are special effects that are happening right now. So cool. Stage light mono, and yeah, key light mono. So it's just pretty much you picking whichever profile you like. But something that makes this so cool is, let's say I'm in the contour light. You're gonna see there's gonna be a top right function with the little F. That means that is your aperture. Now, if you don't know what aperture means, it's pretty much, as you can see, as I scroll through the wheel, if it's a higher number, you're gonna see that more things are going to be in focus, like the mouse pad. Pay attention to the mouse pad and like this little tea bag over here. But the more I decrease the number, excuse me, you're gonna see that more things are gonna be blurred out. You're gonna see that there's going to be more things blurred out around the scene. Now, this was a setting that I wish can be found in the camera profile. I just hope is a software update rather than a hardware update, but only time will tell. Anyways, on the top right, you're also going to see this little hexagon thing. And then last but not least, you got your Pano. Now your Pano setting is pretty much to take a picture. So let me take a picture now. And what you're going to be doing is slightly kind of like recording your video, but not really. Kind of just moving your camera to the right, following the arrow. And when you tap it again, you're going to see that it takes a really long picture. I can see this being used in landscape a lot. And so that's pretty much an overview on how to use your camera app in iOS 14. But here are some tips I found along the way while using this app. So let's say I'm in the photo profile and I tap and hold the white button, right? Tap and hold it. You're gonna see it starts to record a video instead. And until I let go of this button, the recording ends. But something I've realized is that if you tap and hold the button, it starts to record a video. And if you drag it to the right, you're gonna see that it locks it. So in that way, I don't have to worry about, ending the video feed. I can just tap when I need to. Done. All right. So a little more about the camera app is that most of these settings can be done as well as reversing it. So on the bottom right here, you're going to see that there's going to be a reversal button, and that just simply means that, hey, how are you doing? And that just simply means that you're going to be able to do the face cam. Now the face cam, something I really liked about it was that, right now the new iPhones are coming out with 12 megapixel cameras, which I think is amazing, especially when I think about not too long ago where DSLRs were shooting at 12 megapixels. And now to have that kind of quality in your pocket, it's amazing. Anyways, you can see you have your time-lapse setting as well. You can do slow motion, HD, 120 frames. You can't do 240 because it's in the face camera. Close the camera. Now you can record 4K in the front, which I thought was amazing. HD as well, 60 frames, 4K on the front camera. It's amazing. I came in from the iPhone X and we did not have the setting, so having it now is a huge breakthrough for me. So excuse my my overhypeness. Now the thing with the panel setting is that it only seems to work with the front camera. You can see that I was in the face cam, and as soon as I went to the Pano Profile, it switched back to the front. So I guess it's one of the limitations of the camera app here. This is an overview of the camera app in iOS 14. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you thought about this video. And are you excited to hopefully see the aperture setting on the photo profile? I think that will give a lot more flexibility. So again, I hope this video helped you out in some way into figuring out the camera app. So in this channel, I like to talk about art, photography, and technology. So if you're into that, please consider subscribing below and liking this video, please. It helps out a lot. Once again, my name is Captain Giorgio, and I want to say thank you so much for taking your time to watching this video. Stay safe, stay well, and remember to stay creative. I'll see you in the next one. All right, peace out.